It's the Sunday Morning Brew with Maddie and Elle.
Good morning.
Cheers.
We are back in action, baby. Happy Sunday. How's that extra hour treating you, Elle?
I could not figure out for the life of me how I woke up at 6:40 without an alarm and didn't feel like absolute ass.
Yep.
So then I looked at my oven clock. I was like, oh, I completely forgot about that. So
that's what it is. I walked
nice.
downstairs. I was like, wait, I feel like kind of refreshed right now. And then
unusual.
I looked at my microwave and I was like, oh, that's right. We have an hour.
Right.
Amazing. Well, hopefully you are watching where you guys follow daylight savings. Not really looking forward to it being dark at like 3:30, but it is what it is. Last night, some pretty good fights. There was a lot of fights going on last night. I saw that MVP won a grappling match. So good for him for shutting up the haters last night.
Glad he's been working on it.
Yeah, seriously. And then there was a couple of boxing matches, but all eyes were on UFC Fight Night last night. And Brandon Moreno looked incredible. Absolutely incredible.
He's back. Yeah.
He's back, baby. That was good. Little shocked by the Blanchfield Namajunas fight. We'll get into that. And then there's plenty of really good entertainment segments as well. So what was one of your favorite moments last night, Elle?
I really just enjoyed seeing Moreno come back. I think he's been one of the most underappreciated champions that we've had in the UFC. Like, I think people don't realize how active he was.
Yeah.
And how exciting he was. You know, I feel like he and Pantoja when Pantoja won the belt, they had arguably the best flyweight fight in history. Like, absolutely phenomenal fight. And I
he's
believe
so
that
fun.
He really is. And I think he's kind of the new flyweight Max Holloway. I think he's going to be that guy that, like, Pantoja is going to be the only guy that can beat Moreno. I do think obviously Royval looked phenomenal when he fought Moreno. But I also felt like that was not Moreno's best. He looked like he looked like he needed a break. And after this Albazi performance, I feel like we saw that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he could have gone like 5 more rounds. I felt like he was just like having fun in there again, which was so much fun to watch. I mean, who does he fight next? Does he go back to Royval to try and get that W back?
I think Royval is probably gets next at the belt, especially because now they have a new challenger in Kai Asakura, who's fighting Pantoja. I would think maybe you do Moreno and Tatsuro Taira, who just lost to Royval. Maybe that makes more sense if you're waiting for Royval to, because if I'm Royval's manager, I would think, like, I'm definitely next in line for that. I would think it make more sense to wait rather than risk. If you lose to Moreno, like, you know, you got to fight your way back to that title position. And I think Moreno looks like he is rejuvenated. You know, I think that second or that next fight between Royval and Moreno could be a much tougher fight for Royval. He can absolutely still get it done, but
I don't think it'll be as close, like, as their first meeting. Like, I think prime Moreno is a really big problem for Royval. If I were to say, Albazi, I will say, seemed a bit flat, but this was his first fight back in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like, after a couple of injuries. So
some surgeries.
That's a tough fight back. Like, that is like, damn, like, there was no warming up coming back. So that's a tough one. And then you got the Blanchfield and Namajunas fight. Am I a weirdo for having Rose winning?
Yes. Karen clearly won 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, God.
Insane.
Oh, you had her winning 1.
Huh?
You had Blanchfield winning round 1.
No. 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, 3, 4, and 5. I thought you said 1, 3, 4, 5.
No, she clearly won 3, 4, 5. Rose clearly won the first 2, in my opinion. I didn't think this was a difficult fight to score. Like, there were close fights.
I guess I had Rose winning 4, honestly.
Really?
I had her winning 1, 2, and 4.
Maybe the last, like, minute of 4.
Yeah.
But the rest of the round, like,
Yeah.
You're
I
in
mean,
control,
Blanchfield absolutely turned it on towards the end of the fight. And like when she finally started getting her takedowns and like applying it, I mean, it was a completely different fighter.
Yeah.
Rose looked
Rose
excellent
looked exhausted after 3.
She did.
And that's
And
why
I feel
I
like
thought
she always looks like that. I feel like she's always going back to her corner, like always.
I feel like she's burnt out.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, what the hell is next for her? She's 2-2 in her last 4 fights. You know, she's always at the top, but like, I don't think she's going to be champion again.
No.
And then it's like, apparently she wants to go to boxing now. Did you see this? She was talking to TMZ and she was saying that she was considering boxing now and threw out the name Katie Taylor. I'm like, girl, you can't just go to the top of the top like that. Like, that's a whole other world.
And there's not a chance does Rose outbox most professional boxers, let alone Katie Taylor. Like
I am shocked. Like, Rose is an elite MMA fighter, and I am shocked that people at the elite level still think that they can just casually cross over to boxing.
Well, I don't think she thinks she can win. I think she thinks she's a big enough dog to get a Conor McGregor payday, and she's just not. You know, and it like I would never pay money to watch her box.
Really?
God, no.
I know.
She's not a boxer. She's not a boxer. She's got great range control and beautiful MMA striking.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean she has good boxing.
Yep.
Like, those are 2 entirely different things. And I'm disappointed to see Rose in this place because it seems like she's just kind of accepted her fate. Like, I don't think she hasn't really made any adjustments to her game. Mm-hmm. Like, she's looked like the exact same fighter her last like 4 or 5 fights. Mm-hmm. And like, to see her lose to Carla the way she lost and then just be like, it's like she just gave up instead of being like, oh wow, I fought her horribly.
Right. Let me change something
this way. We need to make these adjustments. And then I can go back and Wei Li, who she's already beaten twice, is the champ again. It's like she just like threw in the towel. Yeah. She's like, well, I'm washed here, so I guess I'll go to flyweight. And then as soon as she lost a couple fights at flyweight, it's like, once again, there was no adjustments made since the Manon Fiorot fight. Mm-hmm. And
the internet is like coming after her coach. Why am I blanking on his name right now? Pat Barry. Thank you. The internet is just going in on Pat Barry about how he's a terrible coach and he's making all the wrong calls.
No, I 100% agree. I don't think he's a good coach. I'm not really sure what happened between them and Trevor Whitman. However, because I remember last time somebody asked her about it, she was like, oh no, we're good. Like, the only reason he didn't corner me this fight was because he had like, we had people on the card or something. He had Gaethje. He was like, that's the only reason. And then we never saw him in her corner again. So clearly that's not the only reason.
Right.
Clearly that's not the only reason that he's not around anymore. But it's very clear that she's a very different fighter without Trevor Whitman in her corner. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate to see because there's just been 0 adjustments made, especially for someone as elite as Rose. She has like, there are gifts in MMA. Like, women like Amanda Nunes who just have power. Like, that's a gift. Rose's range control and typically her fight IQ, not recently, but typically her fight IQ and her range typically are just phenomenal. Yeah. And it's like, we haven't seen her use those gifts in so long. Hang on. We gotta, there's so much happened while you were gone, Maddie. It was like insane. We had a bunch of new people come in. Guys, this is amazing. Maddie Levine.
Hi guys.
Here on Sundays with me. We just last week she had to take a hiatus, but this is the one and only Maddie Levine.
I've been with Fight Bananas. I don't even know now. I want to say for 2 years now, a year maybe. I don't even know.
Been a while for sure.
I'm gonna say 2 years. Been with the Fight Bananas for like 2 years.
Close, if not quite 2. Pretty close. Yeah,
and then Elle and I started the Sunday Morning Brew pretty recently. Maybe half a year into it, maybe, if that. But so glad you're here. Thank you for tuning into Fight Bananas all the time now. Good morning to my friend Julian. Thank you for checking in. We're doing well. Honestly, we're both hurting units right now, but we're getting through it. We're getting through it.
We're gonna be all right.
We
haven't even introduced the The star of our
I
morning.
know. Grind Ops Coffee Co. literally keeps us sane. This is my second cup. I'm like, it is what it is. I still need to get myself a fancy little mug as well.
You need one.
But new follower. Yeah, MMA Ringside. We're so glad that you're following us. We love that. So thanks for joining in. I don't know what this means. Hopefully it's something nice. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Is there a chance for Islam versus Arman 2?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, why not?
That's the plan, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's as long as Arman beats Charles again, like that's happening. I think Islam's planning to fight early next year. Unless the only way that doesn't happen is if Islam goes, yeah, never mind, I'm going to be a welterweight now.
Yeah.
That's the only way I see that fight not happening at this point in time, personally.
I hope he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't want him to do that.
Yeah, I understand it though. He's massive. Like but I think he's an in-betweener. I think he's a 65er. Like
it's so tough. Like those in-betweeners, I feel for you, man. Like that's tough. That's really tough because that's such a hard decision. It's like, am I gonna like sacrifice my body and potentially some power just so I can be the same guy and will not be the bigger guy? Yeah, it's like, oh god, it's tough. But anyway,
are so tall.
Dude, it is not normal. Like how large some of these fighters are. Like, how do you get down to the right weight? It's wild. It's wild. I mean, the biggest one I can think of, like that I personally saw, was Alex Pereira in his glory days when he was fighting at 185, and that man is gigantic. Like, you should not be able to get down to 185. It's just wild. It's wild. Anyway, so I think we're both in agreement here that Rose should not be fighting Katie Taylor next.
Yes. But what is next though? Like,
no, seriously, what is next? Yeah.
I honestly, maybe she becomes and I'm sure she doesn't want to do this, but she almost has to become a gatekeeper for that division, because now you have a girl like Natalia Silva coming up in the flyweight division.
Who I love. I
love too.
I'm a big fan.
Phenomenal fighter. I think she's somebody that's not quite on the radar yet that should be. And
I think she's getting there.
Makes sense, you know?
I think she's getting there because I feel like every time she's on the card, I feel like she's been standing out a lot more. Like, her striking is just fantastic. Elle, I remember your prediction about Kamzat. So I guess you deserve another built protein bar.
I don't know if you're remembering my prediction, because I definitely picked Robert Whitaker. I have to. I can't take credit that is not my own, but I appreciate that. I did have one of those this morning.
Maddie, are you a fighter? I was an amateur kickboxer for a very long time.
She good, guys.
And I did Muay Thai and I did K1. K1 is where my heart is. Love it so much. But I don't want to cut weight anymore. So here we are. So now I just talk about it, and it's the best, and it's super fun. But okay, so we were talking about, I lost my train of thought here.
Oh, I missed this one in Stolfus. Yes.
Oh,
super fun fight, by the way. I mean, as long as it was. I say super fun. It was a round, but just phenomenal fight. Stolfus looked great. Fought a powerful guy like Mario very well. I was very impressed. Yeah,
no, for sure. That was a great fight. And we got a couple of good fights coming up this weekend too. Let's see. Neil Magny, Carlos Prates. Any predictions on that one? Is it Prates or Prates? What is it? Prates.
I think that kid is freaking good.
Prates
is phenomenal. Yeah. Magny's one of those guys that's just so tough, though. I think a guy like I think Prates will beat him. I think he might not finish him. Maybe. He can. Dude's got ridiculous power.
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun one. And then, of course, our girl, Jillian Robertson, starting off the main card against Luana Pinheiro. So that'll be good. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
I just love seeing her on the. I'm glad she's on the main card, man. I feel like she's usually like a featured fight or something, like
on the prelims and
stuff. Yeah.
So it's nice to see her on there. We got Carolina is the feature fight on the main card too.
Am I stupid? I thought she retired.
She's been so active.
I saw her name on the thing and I was like, wait a minute. I
I see her every day. I love that girl.
I'm like, what the fuck? I thought she retired. She's 39 years old.
Yeah. And she looks
Damn.
phenomenal. I'm always like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
do I look like you when I'm 39? Okay.
So funny story about her. When I first started watching MMA, she was like always one of those fighters I loved to follow because of her swag. So like the fact that she just gets into the ring and she's just like,
She like puts her hands behind her back and she's just
and I'm like,
there.
oh, I love her. Like
She's gonna be
she's
just like you.
oh my god, so good. Let's see.
She's the best. Literally just a sweetheart. I adore her.
I love that. Are you guys training partners? You must be similar. Well, she's probably bigger, a little bigger.
Yeah, no, we train together a lot
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
She's a phenomenal, like great round. You know, I love rolling with KK.
That's cool. I'm 37 and look and feel like I'm in my late 20s, early 30s.
I'm happy for you, Sean.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
I'm like, that makes one of us.
Girl, tell me what that's like.
I feel all of 31.
I'm 30 and I feel like I'm 45.
I feel every bit of 31, but that's okay. That's all right. So let's see here. Alex Pereira, did you hear about this upcoming movie? Dude.
And his only line will be Chama.
That's
it.
fucking fantastic. I didn't know that part. Hold on, let me look this up here. I knew it was only like a one line thing.
Yeah, he said he's gonna be quiet the whole movie and then say Chama at the end.
That's fantastic. Okay, so he's currently working on a movie called Onslaught. It's gonna be a thriller, and he's playing the antagonist named the Butcher.
Ooh, that's gonna be awesome.
Okay.
He would be a fantastic action villain because that man looks terrifying.
Yep. Okay. Oh, this is what he said. I'm going to act, but I'm doing something where I don't have to speak. It's going to be like the Terminator, where he only says one word at the end, and it's going to be Chama.
It's amazing. I love
This
that.
dude is
I
a
love
superstar.
that for Alex Pereira.
He is an absolute superstar. Like,
Oh, yeah.
this is watching his career has been so amazing. Like, it's just so crazy. And he just seems to have like really good people around him and just like,
you can tell he's got a good team.
yeah.
And like, it's wonderful to see him reaping the benefits of his superstardom so early in his UFC career because the dude deserves it. Like, how many cards has he saved at this point this year? And there's a very good chance he might be saving December for us as well. So
do you think he will? I think he will.
I think he will. Well, it depends. If he's filming a movie, though, if they've already started filming, then no.
If he's filming the movie, and I feel like because it's potentially on Kalaev, right?
That would make the most sense.
So a piece of me
don't
thinks
always
like,
do, but that would
do you
make
think
the
he
most
wants? Do you think he wants a last minute fight with somebody like that, or do you think he'd be like, no, I need a full camp for that?
I think he'd do it if the UFC asked, but I think he should get a full. I think he deserves to have a full camp for Ankalaev. I do.
Yeah, I agree. But then it's fucking Pereira, so he's probably just like, yeah, I'll do it, whatever.
No, 100%. He would. I think if the UFC called him, he would say yes. And I genuinely wonder how that process is. I wonder if like, do they call him? Do they call his manager?
They definitely call his manager. And forgive me, I don't remember his manager's name, but I follow him online because he's hilarious. Let me see.
Is he the big guy or is that his coach?
Oh, I guess let's see. Well, the big guy, I believe, is his coach, but I assumed it was his manager as well, but it doesn't look like it is. It looks like, let me see.
Hang on. This is what I said, MMA Ringside. I said this to Dave, and he thought I was insane. I said Shavkat and Usman should fight for the interim. I 100% think that that's what's going to happen. So thank you for backing me up there, because I definitely do think that's what's going to happen.
His manager is Jorge Guillermorais. Nailed it.
Well,
nailed it.
Jorge has been killing it with Alex Pereira, and I am so happy for them both.
Speaking of Jorge Masvidal, Game Bread coming up. I'll be there with Dave.
Yes, finally. I feel like we've been talking about it for.
I know. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'll be there doing Fight Banana content this time though. So what?
Oh, you're staring straight, but you're married. So.
She's very happily married.
So sorry to disappoint.
Oh, speaking of being married, they played the right Toyo Tires commercial last night.
Let's go.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's the best one. It's the best one by far.
It really
With
is.
the mousetrap. Grant's a natural actor. I'm just saying.
He's a natural. But see, like, give
no
him
lines.
some lines. Give him some lines because that man is freaking funny.
I know. He actually really wants to do movies.
I love that. I love that for him. Especially like he loves to do he likes the superhero movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would love to do like an action.
Oh my God. He would kill that. That's amazing. Will you be watching Jake Paul and Mike Tyson?
Probably not.
No, you're not gonna do it. It's
Is
not
it
this
free?
weekend. Well, I think it's on Netflix.
I saw that it's gonna be on Netflix. Maybe I will. I think
I'm fucking watching it. I'm doing it.
I probably will. I will probably cave and watch it. It's on Netflix. I may as well.
The fact that I don't have to buy it, I'm like, okay. I'll tune in.
Yeah, no, I probably will too.
I'll tune in for that monstrosity.
So we can watch Mike Tyson die. Like,
I really hope not. Like,
ancient.
oh God, I don't know what I'll do.
I don't know why this is happening.
I don't
It's
either.
So bizarre.
And I'm pretty. So
wait. I just to be clear. You think Mike Tyson can win this fight?
I do.
You understand? Like Jake Paul's actually not a bad boxer, right? You do understand?
I don't care. He can win.
And you know how old Mike Tyson is, right?
I don't care.
Maddie's like, I'm no longer using logic. I'm feeling this with my heart.
Yeah. I go by what's inside now.
Oh
Fuck all you.
You're gonna be really sad, I think.
No, I know.
It's gonna be bad.
It's it's not.
Like, I don't think he's gonna like get physically hurt. I just think, well, he might.
Because I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure they changed it from an exhibition fight to an actual fight. So this is gonna like actually count towards their records and shit.
Let's see. I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah. And they like knockouts are allowed now.
Oh, like initially
initially it was like
like a sparring match.
Kind of. Yeah, it was gonna be like an exhibition situation.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'll be watching it because I love misery.
Okay. It is an exhibition bout.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe they were considering.
Let me see when this article was written. The event headlined by an exhibition bout is almost here after a delay related to health issues.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Halloween. So it is an exhibition.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. It might just be kind of a joke like it normally is when these older guys fight, where like in boxing, where they just kind of like,
I don't know,
spar each other. Like,
yeah. Well, more importantly, we got some good fights coming up this weekend. Cody Garbrandt's on the card. Neil Magny and Carlos Prates will be the main event. That'll be a good one. And then to round out the end of the year, like we got a lot of great fight cards coming up. So I'm excited. Still hoping I can get to that UFC Tampa card with Dave now that there's a main event. And, it's not the ideal main event, but it's okay. It's all right.
It's not the ideal main event.
It's not. I mean, Ian Gary, like he talks a bit. He talks a lot, but he's an exciting fighter, so it'll make for a good fight. I think lately
he has not been exciting. I think Buckley will make it exciting. Ian Gary's kind of boring to me, to be honest.
Really?
But yes, his last couple.
Yeah.
Like when he fought Jeff Neal, fight was horrible. When he fought Magny,
okay,
also horrible.
Yeah. Well, I think he's one of those fighters that does what it takes to win. Like he doesn't take a lot of risks. So
and Buckley is kind of one of those guys where the tides
he's a risk taker
very quickly. Well, he has to be because he's so damn short. But like Wonder Boy was running away with that fight till he wasn't.
Right.
So I think Buckley. I think it'll be like the MVP Gary fight. That fight was super boring with small bursts of excitement. I think that's the fight I expect from 5 rounds between Buckley and Gary. Is a boring fight with bursts of excitement.
Yep. And then who knows? We may see Pereira one more time. So it's gonna be a great end to the year. But that's all I got for now. How about you, Elle?
No, not much updates right now.
Yeah,
it's
we just wanted to pop on, say hello to everybody, and Hope you enjoyed the fights last night, and the fights coming up this weekend will be good too. And then we'll be back at it. We'll be back at it on Tuesday. So
we actually have like you said, there's a lot of good cards coming off, but 309 has some killer fights. But then Macau, UFC Macau is amazing.
Let me see.
I think it's a card that lacks name value, but that is going to have some bangers.
Which one is this?
The China card, Figueiredo and
okay.
Like,
I mean, Jan versus Tabitha Ritchie. That's going to be a great fight.
Wang Kong and Gabriela Fernandez is going to be super fun. That girl's got some serious power. Yan Chaonan and Tabitha Ritchie will be a fun fight. I know it's a main event. Probably not a lot of people are stoked about, but I feel like yes,
that'll be a super.
They're all going to be fighters that we've never heard of, but the main card has got some bangers on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's going to be a really fun strawweight fight. Let's see. And then Malal and Shavkat not happening, so that's awkward. Yeah. So we'll see. That toe was fucking gross.
It was really gross. How do you get a bone infection?
How do you get a bone infection? I need to know. Like, is there a doctor in the comments? I need to know because that shit's gross. Okay? That shit's gross.
How? Like, how is that?
Wash your feet. Wash your feet. I don't know if that's how it happens, but just wash your feet. If you take anything away from this episode, wash your feet.
Wash your feet. And with
that, we're going to end it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We love talking to you every single week, and tune in on Tuesday for the Fight Bananas podcast. Have a great rest of your Sunday. We love you all.